You see? I can't even scare a crow. They come from miles around just to eat my feelings, laugh at my face.
Live from the governor's mansion, you're listening to the Krows Corner Podcast.
So I got with a sick ass clip and went all out.
Yeah.
Yo.
What's up?
It's your boy Adam L.
This is Wahamiyd.
And this sick cuz the Gov.
Back again for another episode. Krows Corner.
Episode 12 or 11?
I don't know. I lost count. That's a good thing.
Big 12.
You think I'm losing count? It's a good thing. You know what I mean? Putting in work. You know, we get blacklisted and what have you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like to say first of all, foremost, fuck Facebook.
Whoa. We getting blacklisted, y'all. We getting blacklisted. A lot of our content is politically charged. A lot of our content is controversial. And so we starting to see like the pushback of that. Whenever you saying something that's controversial or your message is counter to what mainstream narrative is, you're going to find opposition to that. But regardless of the opposition, we're going to keep doing what we're doing because it's about the people at the end of the day.
In the land of the free.
In the home of the slave.
Are you really free?
Right, because free ain't free. Freedom is not free.
So my biggest beef right now is Lady America, Miss America. You know what I'm saying? The rock that we on, however you want to put it, Plymouth Rock or whatever. My biggest beef, and that's the topic that we have today, as far as gun control, gun laws,
gun violence.
Should we be able to respect the Second Amendment, have the right to bear arms, and who should have guns? Who shouldn't have guns?
True.
Who do Lady America or America, who does she trust with guns? But before we go into all that, how was y'all week?
Week was cool. Week was cool. Moved a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Got some sleep for once. How about that? Rest. You know what I mean? It's vital. People drink water and get sleep. You know what I'm saying?
The wifey was in Atlanta for the whole week. She should be coming back Sunday morning, God's willing. But I got a lot of sleep, but I didn't enjoy myself like I thought I was going to.
Word up.
Mainly like work, come home, sleep.
You thought he was going to be like a, you know what I'm saying, wild
thought
animal.
Thought it was going to be like a party animal, like Teen Wolf.
Yeah, the Teen Wolf days.
Teen Wolf is gone.
Shout out to Michael J. Fox. You know what I'm
saying? Team Pup right here. You know,
no question.
The wolf is gone.
So we talking about gun laws, gun violence,
gun control.
You know, all those things go hand in hand. We live in a city where the rate of violence and homicide due to guns is astronomical. You know what I mean?
Right.
This year alone, and the year's not even over, we had 200.
What?
200 plus.
268.
268. Last year was like 3-something, right?
It's like 343-ish, something like that.
It's like, so it's ridiculous, you know. Why is this violence happening? You know what I mean? What's fueling the violence? How do we stop it? You know, there's a lot of grassroots movements out there that's dedicated to that, like the ceasefire thing, you know, in Baltimore that we have going on.
Yeah, the no shoot zone or something.
Yeah, the gun violence has gotten out of control. It's been out of control for a very, very long time. So we see, you know, people in our community with access to guns. You know, the question comes up, you know, how did they get access to guns? You know, is it an American right? Is it a constitutional right to bear arms?
And I, for one, honor the Second Amendment. I think everybody should have the right, the human right to protect themselves. Myself and you brothers, I don't know, my mic keep going in and out. But I myself and you brothers have families. And although, you know, been knowing y'all for a minute, I know y'all not to be violent men or go out and cause harm towards your neighborhood or society as a whole.
True.
You're hardworking men. You come home, you take care of your family. And guys like us deserve to have the right to protect what's ours.
Your family.
Yeah, no
You
doubt.
understand what I'm
no
saying?
Question, no question.
So we're not going out there to, and no shot at people that go out there and rob people and stuff like that, because I don't know every man's situation. But what I do know is we're not going out there, we're not harming people. If we was to have a gun or carry some type of weapon in our possession or in our homes, it's strictly to protect ours, our family, our prized possessions,
Right.
which is our loved ones.
Right.
So, again, my question posed, who who deserves to have a weapon? Who doesn't?
Right.
And I was reading up a little bit something on when President Obama was in office, and he was trying to enforce the gun laws for selling guns online, and he was saying
shows and online,
and he was saying, you need the gun
background
salesman
checks,
background checks and stuff like that.
All those sort of things.
And there was buckling on that, But my thing is, and then they say Hillary, her push towards the gun control laws was even worse because she didn't want nobody to have guns
Right.
in their hand.
Right.
And she only wanted the guns in the arm in the hands of police officers and military.
Right, that's dangerous.
And that's very dangerous because
that is dangerous.
if they decided they wanted to cause some type of genocide or whatever the case may be,
Or martial
we
law.
ass out of luck.
See, they're right. See, that's the part of people don't want to think of. See, right now, not right now, but say back then, most of us liked the people that was in control. So imagine if like say a majority of the listeners, a lot of the people that would listen would say we don't like Trump at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if he had the power to say, all right, now you people don't have any weaponry. You have nothing. Now I can come in and do exactly what I want to do. And and what would you say then? You know what I mean?
What could you do then?
I'm glad you made a statement too, Ray, because what this Trump said as far as his rhetoric earlier this week on the news, as far as the caravan coming towards our country.
Oh, yeah.
He said, let them throw rocks or something like that.
Yeah.
Shoot them up.
Right. Right. So that's the same thing.
Right.
So imagine if they looking at a certain segment of the population, they say, you know what? You're an enemy to us.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as we say, all right, well, we're not going to just stand up and be your enemy. And the only thing we got are rocks and concrete to break up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, all right, shoot them. Because it's already been conditioned.
Absolutely.
The worstest thing for a man to be put in a position where he's he's helpless to protect his family.
True.
No worse than that. Because you imagine military coming in your house. It's bad enough police doing it now. Military come in your house and they can do whatever, however they want to your wife and your children. You just sitting there helpless. And the only thing in your mind is, look, I'm going to have to fight these dudes off with anything I can pick up and find in my fist.
Right.
And the odds are against me because I'm dead.
Right.
And we don't even have the proper training. I'm talking about
even if you had the weapons.
Exactly.
Right.
And I'm talking about the black community here.
Right.
Before we go into who deserves to have guns, who don't.
Mm-hmm.
If we go out to the gun range, that's a taboo.
Nope.
We rather go to the movies or the club, some foolishness like that. And no shot against people to go to movies and clubs. I like to go to the movies, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go see Bumblebee on the 25th.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, throw that in there.
Yeah.
But how many times did we get together and say, Red, why? Let's go to the gun range. Let's sharpen up our aim. We got sons. We got daughters. We got wives.
Right.
Let's go sharpen up our aim.
Right.
You know, and not feel guilty about it. And some white hillbilly's gonna look at us and say, oh, what they doing? What they conspiring to do? You know what I'm saying? No, I had the right to bear arms. I had the right to know how to use a gun properly, and I had the right to protect myself.
When I hear you talk about gun control, my mind immediately goes to the Black Panther Party of self-defense. And when I think about those brothers and sisters, I think about them basically stepping up, to defend their communities, because that's what you're talking about. We're talking about self-defense.
Exactly.
Being able to protect what's yours and to defend your neighborhoods from other people with guns who don't have your best interests at heart, you know? And so it's important to definitely hone those survival skills. And when it's done in a manner that promotes those survival skills, and I think it's okay, you know? Guns don't kill people, people kill people. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's like the person wielding that weapon, you know, if they have any malice towards you, you know, then it's going to be a problem, you know? And so, we are absolutely, in a situation where we're forced to protect ourselves. And that's something that I think is being missed from the narrative. Even when you talk about violence in the inner city and things like that. I saw a interview, you know, Pac, you know, like in the 90s. I was on YouTube checking out that interview. And Pac said something that was interesting. He was saying that black people in our communities, we're against crime too, you know. We're living with criminals in our community. You know what I mean? It's like we living next door to the criminal, though. You know, the criminal's in the same building as
on
we
the same house,
or in the same house. You know what I mean? So he was saying that people carry weapons to protect themselves, but that's totally missed from the narrative. Instead, people are painted as monsters. People are painted as criminals. Where we're trying to survive. It's a survival thing, you know? And, you know, it's interesting because this country has a long history with guns, you know, and guns is used as a tool for control and oppression if it's in the wrong hands. And power. And if it's not, that's why you hear a lot of stuff about military, up the military, support the military. You know what I'm saying? Boost the military.
It's your power.
Because it's a power grab. You know what I mean? It's how you maintain power. Right. You know what I mean? And so it's interesting. That's a perfect segue, really, into you know, this brother who recently in California shot up the bar. It was a bar. It was a dude in California.
Former military.
Former Marine.
Yeah, former Marine, a young dude. Maybe 28, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And he was deployed overseas to Afghanistan, saw action. As soon as his unit arrived on the scene, it was heavy fire. They was in heavy fire. So that's his initial reaction to his placement. You know what I mean? As soon as he gets there, he's in a firefight, a fight for his life. Whatever happened, he's over there for 6-7 months. Comes back home. And seemingly on the surface appears okay, but later on, randomly at an event, a bar, he just shoots and kills 12 people, and they're like, "Why? How?" You know what I'm saying? And so the question really arises: what is it that our military or our government is doing to these young brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying?
What's going to their minds? Yeah,
what's happening with them? Are they being conditioned? There's nothing, and fortunately, I thank God for this. I've never killed anybody. You know what I'm saying?
They're training killers.
Right.
They're taking young people from the ages of 18, probably no older than 23.
18, yeah.
Who never, most of
30,
them never seen the hood. Never seen drama in a sense of
gun violence
or had your homeboy shot in front of you or your best friend.
Right.
You just gave him, you know, peace. You walk across the street, he in front of the corner store, and now you got half his medulla hanging out the back of his head. They not accustomed or desensitized to a lot of things that we probably saw growing up or experience. So they get these, you know, bright-eyed,
bushy tail,
coming out of high school, probably didn't even finish high school, and they trick them into all this glamour. Oh, you just do 4 years non-combat,
incentivized,
you know, and you come get a car and a house, and you get all these perks and stuff like that when you come back home. That if you make it home, that if you make a home with all your body